This is the Better Living Through Plastics channel. Welcome. This is day 70 of the OFC. There's my solar panels. Each panel is about the size of the palm of my hand. And I'm somewhat pleased with it. I can't carry it on trail. It's too heavy to carry on trail. But, you know, and of course it could have more power, more wattage. Yeah, the easier it is to charge, the faster. Simple math. That's only 24 watts, so pretty much takes a day. I'm not going to do it on this particular episode, but we're going to talk about the many uses of a 2.5 pound bear canister, which is mandatory in the Eldorado, no, not Eldorado Forest, but mandatory in the Desolation Wilderness where I'll be hiking. And man, 2.5 pounds is heavier than any piece of gear that I have. Yes, that's very heavy. So on this episode of the Outside Freak Challenge, day 70, there's an up-and-coming focus shift. All journeys sort of begin with a focus on the gear, right? If you're playing guitar, then you go out and buy the best guitar money can buy, rather than trying to get your skills to match the level of guitar. I'm sure it's like this with many of the arts or trades. So it is with trying to go ultralight when you're doing long distance hiking. And I started long distance hiking 2005. I dabbled in the lighter weights, maybe 7 pounds. I might have gotten my base weight down to about 10 pounds, somewhere between 10 and 15 pounds. And, anyway, let's talk about this focus of the focus shift, because we're going to be doing less of a gear shill channel and more of a lifestyle vlogger soon. But I still have to tinker with the gear. But soon this focus shift will go from gear to the actual trail. Imagine that. So the plan is to do the first leg of the hike, go from Wrights Lake onto the PCT, hike north, resupply Tahoe City, then turn around, come back down, yo-yo back down, and then start considering continuing on south. Yes, that's the whole PCT journey. North and then south, just to do the Tahoe Range, right? And then hike south down into Yosemite, or at least towards Yosemite. We'll see how far we can get. So I'm excited about that, but that's not yet the focus. That's just that's what's brewing. The focus is still, when I weighed my pack, it was 20 pounds. You know, I got all this ultralight gear and everything, and then got a scale, weighed it 20 pounds. Oh my God. So yeah, we had to make some adjustments. That's how you say it. And I got it down to half that. So now I am comfortably at 10 pounds. I've gotten rid of a lot of the stuff that I showed you in the original video. No doubles of anything, no double pillows, pads, polycrow, no doubles. So we got it down to half the weight, 10 pounds. I said I'd like to get it down to 8 pounds. Reasonably, I'd like to get it down to 7.5 pounds. Why? Because of the bear canister. The bear canister immediately brings it back up to 2.5 pounds. So 7.5 pounds plus 2.5 pounds brings the base weight back to 10 pounds. I'm okay with 10 pounds as long as 2.5 pounds of that is the bear canister. I like bear canisters. You use it to do laundry. You use the top as a plate. You can bongo on it. You can even put food in there and keep it away from bears. Yeah. So I next want to talk about extra ultralight. That's a YouTube channel. And he's sort of like the new spearhead of the ultralight modern day frontier. Yeah. Now, I don't agree with everything, but I do agree with most of what he has to say over there. And one of his videos, he was talking about 3 levels of ultralighting. So you have like your 8 pound, your 5 pound, 6 pound, and your kind of 4 pound, which is nuts. But I can definitely see it, especially with the modern gear that we have. I am really just dabbling on level 1. If I may add to his concept there, and that is with the 3 levels, I would say that there is the level where you're still talking about pounds, because that's me. I'm still talking about shedding pounds, but I'm almost to the point of talking about shedding ounces. And that would be level 2. And then I would say level 3 is when you start talking about shedding grams. Just another take on that. So yes, now I need to go from 10 pounds to 7.5 pounds. However, I'm not going to sweat it, because now we're mostly talking about emitting stuff or coughing up about $350 to switch out some gear. So there is an actual dollar amount that's doable. I have to pay off some of this debt from some of the superfluous gear, most of the superfluous gear that I've been buying. Not just for this, but yeah. Anyway, hey, you want to buy some gear? I've got all kinds of cool gear. If you're in the Placerville area or the Tahoe area, at least over the next few weeks, look me up. I got lots of hiking gear. I'll even sell my e-moto or my e-skate. Yep, because I want to get my weight down. Yeah. And it takes money. Yeah, like everything else. Okay. But it's mostly a mindset. This whole ultralight thing, like getting to 10 pounds is a mindset. I think getting lower than 10 pounds really starts to be behavior and money. What am I saying? No, getting down to 10 pounds is more of a mindset and behavior. And then getting less than 10 pounds is behavior and money. Yeah, for the really light materials and stuff. So I'm working on it. Yeah, I'm eventually will become an ozier, and then from an ozier eventually to a gram weenie. Yeah, as they're called. So despite the machismo of being strong enough to carry a heavy pack, I'd rather not. No, I'd rather just dance and prance on the trail. Anyway, yeah, there's no need for that. Okay, for the next video, I actually want to go more into behavior equals weight. As in, if you want to bring your weight down, it really is more a matter of behavior modification than it is the money. Yes. And I also want to talk about how the amount of miles that you do really shows in the thinking. In the case of Extra, he really displays how many miles he's done through his videos when he's talking. It really shows. The wisdom of those miles shows. So thanks for hanging out with me. This is day 70 of the OFC. I've got my complete gear weight list now in the post, and even a more up-to-date weight list over on patreon.com/outsidefreak. Buy some stuff down in the description below to help the channel out. Join Patreon for only $3 a month. I'll see you next video.